TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice.
Medic.
On a Wednesday night, Dish Network, Channel 219. Pluto TV, Channel 240. Samsung TV Plus is 1175. You can also catch the show on Roku TV, on the Roku channel on Roku. Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Select TV, Channel 106. You can also follow us on all of the socials, including Rumble, the Rumblers, YouTube, Facebook, Twix, Twitter X, Kick, Getter, Instagram, and if you're going to follow on Instagram, it's LFS6B Show on Instagram. Don't forget also, you can tune us in live right now on the radio, 103.9, and online at linewsradio.com. Welcome to a Wednesday show. As you can tell, Damon isn't here. Let's party, everybody. No, I'm kidding.
He gave us a very
off.
clear list of what we can and can't talk about.
Yes. So good night, everybody. Yeah, Damon is off tonight celebrating his anniversary. He announced that last night, so it's no big deal that we say it tonight. But we will say congratulations to you and your lovely wife. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the evening. And, what is it? Did he say it was 20 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
His wife's being canonized tonight, just being married to him for 20 years. Put up with that guy. Come on, Paul, right?
So
He's a great
congratulations.
communicator off the air.
Great. One of the greatest communicator orators of all time.
Yes, congratulations to the happy couple. I hope they enjoyed their day. But let's take it around the room, shall we? Since he's already piping up, already rocking to go. That's Slick Rick with sports. Slick Rick Amorati, how are you?
I'm doing good, Rick Delgado.
Anything on your radar today? I see you grabbed a Bucky to hold your phone up. That's
Yeah,
nice.
you're going to use my Bucky to hold the phone up. Yeah, I think it's about time I invest in a laptop, but that's another story. Once the show has a budget, I'm going to do that. So
You waiting for your raise?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're not getting a laptop.
Let's not go there. No. So we got President Trump is going to be going to the final of the World Cup. He announced earlier
really?
today. Yeah, we're going to have an update, of course, on the Calgary Stampede. And I got a great video tonight about a poor guy that got a balk from a lightning strike. Yeah, unbelievable. So we'll have that baseball game. So,
right.
And we'll have some scores and what have you as well.
All right, very good. Of course, Paul Nolan is here. Paul, how are you?
I am well. I got to be honest with you. I'm really impressed with how many stations you rattled off to start that. At some point, I thought you were going to say like UHF channel 260 or something.
Yes.
That was a lot.
Yes,
On top of getting injured as you started the show.
Yeah, if you have one of those dial TVs, you can like flick it right between the channels and look between the lines. You might see us there as well.
Yeah, so. It was quite a list.
Anything stand out to you? Because I know you were doing some show prep. You were texting me earlier a bunch of stuff.
Well, I just thought it was interesting that, we're not supposed to talk about this Epstein list tonight, but I'm going to. I think there's a lot to unpack there. I think there's a lot of things to think about, especially the way it's dividing MAGA. I think that's part of the plan as well. I think there's a little bit of a divide and conquer thing going on here, but
there could be.
But I think there's a lot of external pressure, and I'd like to have that discussion somewhere along the way. Maybe we'll save it for the last segment when Damon's sleeping.
Okay, and finally, Kevin Downey Jr. has made his return to the program. You know him from this station, 103.9 LI News Radio. You also know him from his writing stylings at PJ Media, and of course his legendary comedy tours that he does around the country. KDJ, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Delgado. I've got good news and bad news.
Okay.
The good news is Patriot Sherry sent me this wonderful shirt that
is
says,
awesome.
Steams my clams. KDJ.
Oh, that's nice.
Patriot Sherry, I can't thank you enough. I love it, and I'm never taking it off. They're going to bury me in it.
So that's the bad news. You're never taking it off?
The bad news, I got here very early. I was at the American First Warehouse doing my podcast, and I came in and I found a boatload of Bucky's chow. And I've eaten so much Bucky's Bohemian garlic beef jerky that I actually pooped a gopher. So that's the bad news.
I thought you pooped a shoe.
But everything good? Anything? Because we haven't seen you since, we were off last Friday.
Yeah.
For the 4th, so we haven't seen you in a little bit. Anything jumping out at you?
Yeah. News-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I did a little digging, and it appears that the fire chief in Austin, that covers Kerrville, where the big flood was. Turns out he's a bit of a DEI hire, it looks like. And I'm gonna tell you some things about this guy that you're not gonna like, and he might be unemployed soon because of it. It's pretty god awful.
Well, you know what? We saw that happen in L.A., right, with the L.A. fires.
Yes.
So it seems to be par for the course for these liberal places. Anyhow, like I mentioned, it is a Wednesday night. Damon isn't here. We've been covering. Well, let's face it, Paul. We've been covering this Epstein thing since it broke when he got arrested, right?
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's been kind of one of those stories that. It never really went away. And now, after the late Sunday night memo that was dropped to Axios of all places, because that's a MAGA place. That's where you want to put all the MAGA news, right?
Yeah.
Somehow they got it, CIA, and they published it. And now basically the administration is saying is doing the old Lieutenant Drebin, nothing to see here, move along, right?
Boy.
It's comical. I mean, it's truly comical. So the guy we were told killed himself, the billionaire who got billions inexplicably. We don't know how he got his money other than from Les Wexner. Like, he gave him a ton of money for whatever reason that was. Mm-hmm. And then he had billions upon that. Killed himself in prison for a crime that didn't happen.
Right.
For a list with no evidence that wasn't there. And we're supposed to think that none of this is odd. When the cameras were off, the guards fell asleep, the dog ate the homework.
Hillary Clinton walked through. We saw that.
And meanwhile, all of MAGA was thrilled that this, I guess you could call it the Rosetta Stone, to break the Rubik's Cube of the deep state, was going to be unveiled when Trump won, and all of these players and all the blackmail and all the things that go on to compromise people was going to finally, that layers of the onion were going to peel back just a little bit. Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, even...
yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah, so you lay out all those things that I guess we must have all dreamed that never happened, right? I think Jake TV, the people at Jake TV, do a great job of encompassing that for you here, Paul, because that's what they're trying to do to us. Here's cut number one. Here's basically what we've been told. Check this out, cut one.
Breaking news about the Epstein case.
Turns out there is no client list, at all.
Seriously, they sure fooled me. Shapiro-Stein, take it away.
At Epstein Island, it turns out all of the people that were trafficked here just didn't exist. After all, the dude isn't even alive to tell us anymore. Jenny, back to you.
We're here outside of that dude's wife's prison holding the first person ever to be convicted of trafficking to nobody. I'm here with Ghislaine, serving 20 years for having imaginary friends, thousands of Epstein victims, but zero clients. How are you?
I 100% deserve this.
True. Where's the client list?
Israel is our greatest ally. What do you think of the verdict? How about ask how much I got paid? No other comments.
So there you have it. Just a quick little clip from the people at Jake TV putting that together. And it really seems like it's the, what do you call it? It's the force, right? These are not the drones you're looking for. This is not the client list you're looking for, Paul.
Well, just remember, the media is powerful. We're stupid. They tell us what to think and believe. And then we just absolutely have to agree with everything they tell us. And then when, you disagree, your friends tell you you're a jackass or a loser. And then, then there's a fight and everyone's confused and completely, loses the point. To me, what kills me is the people who tried to put Trump in jail, the Gates types, the Clinton types, the Biden types, right, and all these people who have been using, all of these, Russiagate, the assassination attempts, the impeachments,
the fake crimes,
the hidden laptop of Hunter, all of these weaponized ways of trying to derail Trump. So this to me feels like a big disappointment. I'm not going to lie. I just cannot. I'm a conspiracy guy, right? Okay. I think there is a shadow government. I do believe the people who finance our government are in charge and are puppets that we put there to give us the illusion of liberty and freedom and hope. And I just think that there's a good nail in the coffin of liberty, and I think it's going to hurt MAGA, and I don't want MAGA hurt because I think without it, we're going to have one world, like a constitution from the UN through the international banking system that will eventually envelope our constitution and all other constitutions. This is what Trump represented to me.
Right.
That he would be, a rock in the gears of the globalist structure.
Yeah, standing in the.
I thought this was part of it. Yeah,
right.
And I thought this was a good way to kind of unleash it. Now I have heard some cool theories, and I want you guys to chime in on this. He's taken that list, he's taken the leverage, and he's going to use it to kind of get what he wants going forward. And maybe there will be a way to get a U.S. Treasury note, and who knows? Maybe the currency war, because this is all currency war to me, is maybe Trump's got us on the right track. So that's I'll hold out hope for that.
Quite possibly. Now, Kevin, you haven't been here. We've been covering this the first 2 nights. This is night number 3. Sorry, Aaron. But what are your thoughts on what you've seen? Because you've probably kind of you take it from a different angle. You haven't really talked to us about what you've seen.
Right.
What have you been able to gather?
Well, I wrote about this at pjmedia.com. Here's what we know. We know that looks like Epstein here went to visit the then head of the CIA 3 times. We don't know what they're talking about. We know that his wife's dad is in Mossad. I think this is way bigger than some pedo shaking down creeps. I think this is way bigger, and I think when Trump got his first term, he had no idea what he was getting into. He had no idea about the deep state, and they kind of ran him over and then chased him out of town. He knows better this time. I think we're not done. We're going to hear more about this. This is not over. I think he's stalling for time. It's a bad look. It's a bad look when he goes, oh, why are you talking about him, blah, blah, blah. But I think, keep in mind, this is the guy who brought a bunch of Bill Clinton victims to a debate with Hillary. This is a guy who doesn't mess around. This is a guy who plays dirty, he plays deep, and he's playing the long game here. I'm not talking about 4D chess. I think this is going to come out later after he's smoked out all the swamp wigglers that he needs to smoke out. But this is not just a bunch of, heads of business chasing underage girls. I think this is way bigger than that.
Yeah, me too. And it's funny you use the word messy, because I got this from Tracy Garage. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She's one of the people in our chats, positing me a theory that they made this messy for a reason so no one would believe it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And not let it go. Let everyone else kind of carry this story along. So much so, CNN is now covering it.
I know.
And CNN has not really done a lot of Epstein stuff. So it you know what? It comes from, like I said, it comes from Tracy. It's a pretty decent theory that, he basically said, let's make a mess and let's see how they react.
You guys make interesting points.
I've got something even deeper.
All right, so do I. We'll cover that stuff. We'll do some sports. We'll do some other news. Jasmine Crock of, you know what I'm going to say. Jasmine's back. She's got a great quote about all the violence we're seeing. So we'll cover that. We'll cover a whole lot more. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday. Stay there.
Talk about horse hockey.
Chat live in the chats.
Got the chat rocking already.
What do we got going on now? Oh, I got
Jesus Salou.
I also got Gary Coleman news.
What's up, Becky Schneider? We got New Jersey girl. How you doing over there? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
We got Troy Malone. We got Moon Pie. Got Ankh. Hope I say that right. Cat's B in the house.
You got Michael Son, Troy Malone.
Let's see what we
got.
Wait
a little bit. I'll break him up.
Let's break him up. Out of spite, let's try to get 500 likes on the YouTube.
New Jersey girl 54.
This way, Damon's like, oh, these guys got more likes than me. Come on, let's spite out of spite.
They're already calling for his replacement in the chat. It's crazy.
Whose?
Yeah, I'm not going to give names. Somebody to put.
No, I mean, whose replacement?
Jane Damon's.
We got Rick Gamarati.
Yours comes in hour 2.
They do that every night.
Sure.
Oh, Jake Jr., 1969. Fat Fonzie is either blind or doesn't take it seriously. Of course he takes me seriously. Oh, he does.
Michael Sand in the chat. Michael, you're always a sweetheart. One of our favorites. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Michael Sand, good one.
Howdy.
Eric Payne says it very well here. This whole situation is FUBAR.
Yes.
Turns out we're all Jaffos.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Excuse me.
God bless.
Howdy, Rumblers.
I love this name, Ceaseless Discharge. What a fun name that is. I don't know what that means. It's funny. We got glittery goodness in here.
Of course we do. We have glittery goodness every night.
Yeah.
Robbo, how you doing, brother? Mother Stink Guy, another fun name.
I want to thank Patriot Sherry once again for the shirt. Steams my clams.
Greg LeMond got the Congressional Gold Medal today, Rick. Did you see that?
No.
The great him. He's a legend.
Becky Schneider says, I'm a
Howdy,
blonde and I'm not a
Twixters.
ditz.
Howdy, Twixters.
Farmer Brook is in there. Racing Banshee, Nancy Burns, a lot of familiar names. Kit Kat.
Lorraine Donato, my girl, what's happening? Beat Carter, what's happening?
Burns?
17 Raiders, Connie Lou.
Connie Lou,
Lou
how
Peterson.
do you do? How do you
Gary
do?
S., thank you, brother.
Bill Coe.
Nomad Nana.
Well, hello, Connie Lou.
And Knight Joseph 777 just reposted the stream. Thank you. Yeah, if you could do that, like and share, that'd be awesome. All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Welcome back to the program. We've got a whole lot of stuff to cover tonight on this Wednesday night. I'm looking through the, what chat is this? The YouTubers. A lot of great people in the YouTube. I saw, this is flying by so fast. I wanted to mention something. Somebody had a comment about Damon flying around in one of my UFOs, taking the night off. That's just, no, he's celebrating his anniversary. The UFO ride is tomorrow.
That's a real honeymoon.
Yes, exactly. There he is. His name is Slick Frick. Let's do some sports with him. Slick Frick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com and use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, what do you got for us?
All right, let's drop into the diamond. Major League Baseball scores right now. Yankees leading the Mariners 4-2, top of the fifth at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx.
Yankee.
Red Sox up in Fenway, up 2-0 over the Rockies, top of the fifth. Bottom of the fourth, wow, a miracle. Cincinnati Reds lead the Marlins 3-0 in Cincy. All right, Great American Ballpark. Cubs right now getting blanked by the Twins, 3-0 in Minnesota, top of the third. Also top third, Royals blanking the Pirates. Pirates having a rough year too. Nationals over the Cardinals, 3-1, end of two, top of the first. Guardians on the board first there over the Astros, 1-0. Final earlier today in 10 innings, the Brewers edged the Dodgers 3-2. White Sox nipped the Blue Jays 2-1. Phillies absolutely bombed the Giants 13-0.
Wow.
Rays, it was a football score there. It was on Eagles over the Giants 13-0 earlier today. Rays 7-3 over the Tigers, and we have a 9:38 first pitch. Rangers out west taking on the Angels. Diamondbacks visiting San Diego take on the Padres at 9:40, and at 10:05 the Braves take on the A's, who are pretty soon will be out of Oakland and heading to Vegas. Right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's going to be a very sad story. And I tell you, Tim Tebow and his wife, they welcomed their first child over the weekend. Thought that was nice. We love Tim. He's a great guy. Tim Tebow and wife Demi Lee welcomed their first child, Kaylin Hooks of ESPN. Tim Tebow and his wife Demi Lee welcomed a baby girl over the weekend. The couple announced the birth of their daughter in a joint Instagram post Sunday, and the name of their daughter a day later, Daphne Rain Tebow. Our daughter is here. We couldn't be more grateful for the blessing and gift of this new little life, Demi Lee wrote on Instagram. Her first name is a tribute to a member of Demi Lee's family, so very nice. We wish Tim and his wife all the best. Of course, Tim played 3 seasons in the NFL, most notably 2 with the Denver Broncos after winning 2 national championships with the Florida Gators. I wish he just could have played for the Florida Gators forever, right? He was like the perfect quarterback. He looked great in that uniform. He was great, and I know he took a shot at and played for the Mets for a little bit there, right? Tried to get into the Major League Baseball. He couldn't break into that, unfortunately, but with any kind of reverence.
It's a good PR stunt.
It was a good PR stunt, but great guy, great human being, great patriot, by the way. That's why I wanted to run his story. And President Trump going to FIFA Club World Cup final at MetLife Stadium. Simon Kent of Breitbart, the FIFA Club World Cup final set down for MetLife Stadium in New Jersey will now boast a special spectator on hand Sunday to view the soccer action. President Donald Trump. The noted sports fan said he'll be watching the soccer game in person. The ultimate decider match of the FIFA Club World Cup 2025 tournament now drawing to a close after being hosted in the U.S. Trump made history back in February by becoming the first sitting president, which is hard to believe, to attend the Super Bowl, as Breitbart News reported. He also signed a historic executive order protecting women's sports. So good stuff. Trump said, "I'll be going to the game," he told reporters after he was asked if he would be attending the final in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Post reports Trump's presence at the Club World Cup final was teased on DAZN by on-air personality Emily Austin on Monday. The Post reports notes. So good stuff. The World Cup trophy will be on display inside the building leading up to the finale. I don't think Team USA will be there, though. I don't think they'll be the team playing in that game. I'm not sure about that with the World Cup, right? Unlikely. You never
Probably
know.
not, but you know what?
We can hope. We can pray.
You never know. You could have they could get on a run, as they say, right?
No question. And I bet you there'll be plenty of legal aliens in the arena that night in MetLife. Oh, I should call it Met-Get-A-Life. Let me pronounce the right term there. And that's a wrap in sports, Rick. I got a little rodeo coming up later, and I got that story about that pitcher who got called for a balk after a rolling thunder came into the stadium. It's a great clip. I'll play it a little bit later.
We'll do that later. Again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code at checkout and save yourself a ton of cash on some great stuff from the people at MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com. LFS6B at checkout. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. He talks about his writings on PJ Media. You may have seen him. You know what? The funny thing is, that's where we first got exposed to you. Like, I was reading your stuff beforehand, reached out, saying, "Hey, do you think you could do something like, through what is it? What's that thing called? Zoom or something?" And he's like, "Well, where are you guys out of?" I'm like, "Well, we're out of Ronkonkoma." "Oh, I'm out of Hicksville." I'm like, "Oh, you could drive over."
Careful, let's not see one of you guys get doxxed here. Let's we needed some blue-haired lunatic with a dirty diaper running in here.
What? I do that every day.
I think he just borrowed the key for the bathroom.
So, Kevin, what do you got going on, man? What's you gave us a little bit on the Epstein stuff. Is there anything, because you said you've got some theories, right?
I've got some theories, all right. Now, folks, you can read this. Go to pjmedia.com, click on authors, because I'm an author now, dang it. And click on my mug, and then you can read this. It's all about Epstein. It turns out Epstein he had this fascination with science, and he was donating money to various scientists around the nation. And it turns out his real big thrill in life is eugenics. So we've got we've got a pedophile obsessed with eugenics who wants to use his ranch to, and I quote, and this is from the New York Times, impregnate 20 women at a time as a means of strengthening the gene pool, because that's what we need is more pedophiles being born. But what no one can figure out, after his first conviction for pedophilia, Harvard gave him a private office.
Right.
Now, why Harvard gave a private office to a wealthy, convicted pedophile who's into eugenics and impregnating a lot of women and hanging out with the CIA, well, gosh, I just don't know that. But that's why I think there's way more going on here than we think. I don't buy that this is over. I think Trump needed to buy time. And I know, MAGA, I know I'm one of you, but I almost went to federal prison for the man. Trust me when I tell you, I'm as MAGA as they come. Relax. I see people, I hate Dan Bongino. I hate Bongino, Cash Patel, and Pam Bondi. Give it a while. He's had 1 million victories in the first 6.5 months.
Yes, he has.
He's going to have more. This is not over, not by a long shot. What Bongino needs to do is clear out all the scumbags from the FBI. That doesn't happen overnight, all right? And we just found out, I think yesterday, Supreme Court gave Trump the right to fire anyone he wants.
Yes.
He's giving the deep state an enema. Let's see what happens a year from now. Within a year, I think we're going to, and hopefully less. I mean, God, I want to hear it too. It's not done, folks. Relax. And I'm not going to say he's playing 4D chess or trust the plan. I don't know what the plan is, and I don't really know what 4D chess is. But this man wins, all right? He wins, and remember, He's not on the list. Not on the list. Tell that Tundra Wookiee you call a sister-in-law that he's not on the list, because if he was, he wouldn't have thrown Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, because Epstein could have nailed him. Said, no, I own you. I've got videos of you. Relax. Yeah. Something's going to happen. It's not going to be right away.
Yeah, not only that, the left would have used it. He never would have beaten Hillary in the first place, because they would have used it against him back then, and we'd never be here as it is. You mentioned the Supreme Court. This was from yesterday. We didn't dive too much into it, but the Supreme Court backs Trump's effort to dramatically reshape the federal government. It announced that yesterday, so to carry out mass firings and reorganizations at federal agencies, which is what the presidents have always done if they wanted to, putting a hold on the lower court orders to temporarily block the president from taking those steps without congressional approval. That is now null and void. The unsigned order gives the president the power that he's always had, is to determine who is going to be employed under the executive branch, right?
Yeah.
So that's
what. By the way, good optimistic stuff over there, boys. I like it.
So that's what Kevin was referring to. So another big win, like he said. Trump is racking up the wins here, but this one is so messy.
Yeah.
And this really has a chance to put a dent into a lot of stuff, because it's one of those sexy stories that people just...
It's an optics story.
It's an optics thing. We'll dive more into those optics in just a little bit. Quick break. We come back. We'll talk to Paulie Bones.
Paulie Pots and Pans.
Yeah, Paulie Pots and Pans. He'll be there. Paulie Eggs will be hanging around, scrambling things up. And more from you guys in the chat. Join us there. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. We'll be back.
Damon was in the chat a little early, huh?
Was he?
Making his usual comments.
Supposed to be out.
Pay attention to your,
Why isn't he
I know.
out?
to your beautiful, lovely,
He's probably at the
kind-hearted
table.
wife.
His wife's probably watching the show. What are you talking about? She loves the show.
He's there.
She is so nice.
Oh,
buttering a roll, and he's watching us.
I love her.
Yeah, it's not to love. She is delightful and charming and kind.
She's doing with him. You have no idea.
Beauty and the Beast.
Chat. Lives in the chat. Joe Ed Jr.'s in there. Wheezy Cat, Panama Tom. I'm talking about the Rumble chat.
Do you think we could have a conversation somewhere by the end of the show about, to me, I think Trump's team still lacks in the messaging department. When he gets crucified by the media for the bombing, he could have just said, I was just following the precedent of Obama. 26,000 bombs. He killed the most civilians, including women, children, and non-combatants in the history of warfare. On the last day of office, he blew up. He sent a bomb into Yemen on his last day of office. He was leaving and boop. Boom.
Well, pay no mind to that. Come on.
Right. Or like the fact that he deported 3 times. Where I'm just following precedent of my predecessors.
Right.
I think there should be better messaging. Then again,
it's got to come from him. He's the best messenger he's got,
without a doubt.
So
that's the truth. That is the truth.
It's not like
Truth
he's
Social,
not working
baby.
around the clock.
Rumblers. Let's see who's going on in the Twix chat. Anybody got anything?
Nothing in the YouTube. Nothing coming in hot.
Is in there.
Who sent all the Bucky stuff?
I wish I knew.
Damon announced it the other day.
I wish I knew.
Thank you.
Cholesterol's up to 275 now because of it.
There's T-shirts in there?
Yep. Joey Laura says KDJ stuff. I hope he's talking about your writing. It's fantastic on PJ Media.
By the way, if you go on PJ Media, please send a letter to the editors that your favorite author is KDJ.
Thank you.
Let's gas him up a little bit, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have no idea how much that helps him. So please do that for him.
Sure, you get a big raise.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Elsie San Diego.
They pay you next to nothing as opposed to nothing.
Elsie San Diego is in the Twix chat saying hello.
Hello.
Baby, hello.
Hello. Joey Laura says he loves his lineup. Just line us up like we're at the post office.
We belong in the lineup.
Guy live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. You can also check out the show. If you're on your radio right now, you're probably listening to us on 103.9 or go online, linewsradio.com. Welcome to the program on a Wednesday night. If you're just tuning in, Damon took the night off to spend it with his lovely wife as they celebrate their 20th. So congratulations once again to them. I think he was in one of the chats earlier. Damon, stop watching us. Pay attention to her and, eat your salad and then enjoy your main course.
That guy hasn't eaten a salad since he's 7.
Besides, that was me in the chat under Damon's login.
Oh, okay. So Fran was playing Damon in the chat.
I'm the only one that can fit into his hoodie.
All right.
Oh, really? How'd you get his icon and all that? That's good.
That's
Fran.
pretty good.
Listen to that evil laugh.
The evil laugh that nobody can hear except for us.
We hear it. We got a
comes from Erin.
She has the best laugh.
Yeah, she really does, and it's evil. And you know when she's up to something.
That's the laugh you hear when you go hitchhiking and a woman picks you up.
I see the message now.
You
Live
look
from
very
Studio
hot.
6B.
Have some of my Coca-Cola, and then you zonk out. You wake up chained to a basement wall.
Yeah, you're in a tub without a liver.
Yeah.
Since Damon isn't here, the control room can say hello to everyone here. Hi there. So, Fran's playing a little magic.
Okay. Hey, so we were talking about the, we've got a lot of other things to cover. I've got clips. I've got a ton of clips from President Trump had some questions with Peter Doocy today. We'll cover those.
I love Doocy, man. He's just
CNN is also ramped up their stuff. They've got secret recording. They've got a secret recording of President Trump talking to a fundraising group before the 2024 election. But let's try and finish up with this Epstein stuff before we move on.
What's your theory?
Because we've seen. I have a few. Actually.
Let them rip.
We've seen a lot of people come out, high profile, podcasters, influencers, that kind of stuff, like the Mike Benz. He's an intelligence genius. He's calling BS on this story.
Of course. He's as good as it gets, too. Right. He's sharp.
I don't know if you saw the video. Alex Jones was talking about this, and I think 10 minutes in, he starts crying.
And he threw up or something.
Something like that.
I mean, listen, let's be honest. Alex Jones made a huge mistake, blah, blah, blah. We'll put that out there. And he's so unbearable to listen to, but his intel is great. He's just hard to listen to. Right. It just grates on you.
But he is so right about so many things.
He's been right so often. So.
Tucker Carlson had this journalist on, and they were talking about. I can't pronounce the guy's name.
Yeah,
but they had some real interesting stuff.
It was a mouthful, right?
Yeah, about what they think is going on. The PBD podcast,
yeah, I love that podcast.
Love that podcast.
Tom, the main guy on that.
He has John Kiriakou. I believe that's how you.
I'm halfway through that. Fantastic pod.
The CIA whistleblower claims that Trump blocked Epstein list to protect Israel. Now that's something we've kind of also talked about because of the intelligence side of what Epstein was up to. I also have a clip of this guy who's a former Israeli spy confirming Epstein worked for Mossad. This is Ari Ben Menashe. This is cut number 4. I mean, these are the people that worked in this industry, in the intelligence community. Yeah. They kind of knew what was going on. Here he is. This is cut number 4. Check this out.
Of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Now, as part of our investigation, we spoke to Ari Ben Menashe, who is a former Israeli spy. He said on the record unequivocally that Jeffrey Epstein was working for Israeli intelligence operations, the Mossad, and running a classic honey trap operation. That is, lure people inside, record their activities and learn about their peccadillos and use it to blackmail them. This is a former spy on the record in the new book, Epstein, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Interestingly, this person was also the handler of Jeffrey Epstein's best friend and ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. She was said to have been one of the women who helped procure the underage girls for Epstein. She has denied that. But her father was Robert Maxwell, a media and press baron who owned the Mirror News Group in England and also the New York Daily News. He was a former Mossad agent. And according to my source, Ari Ben Menashe, the business that Robert Maxwell had was turned over to Jeffrey Epstein almost in a switch before Robert Maxwell died in mysterious circumstances off the back of a boat in 1991.
Well, this is mind-boggling stuff.
Yeah. So
all stuff we've covered here a million times.
And we've talked about the intelligence angle, the connection to the CIA and Mossad. We've got other theories. You were mentioning about how you think President Trump's going to weaponize this stuff against his, people.
I mean, it would make some sense. I mean, if you had that kind of power, and that's the power that, I mean, I've said it's forever. I mean, it's been the most powerful tool in politics is blackmail. People don't want, they're, as he says, picadillos. I never called mine a picadillo, but I certainly don't want it on national TV. But
exactly.
So if you've got that kind of intel, you've got whatever's left of what the deep state didn't, dismantle, erase, delete, make disappear. Why wouldn't you continue to use it, especially if there is a way that we could try to avoid, one world digital currency, which I do think is still on the table. I think, it'll start with digital currency here in America. And, and if there's digital currency, there is the end of freedom. I mean, honestly, fiat currency unto itself, it was the beginning of the end. And, we're at 60 years of this disaster, at 55 years of this version of the dollar. So it's got to collapse somewhere along the way, like all currencies that are fiat. So what's next? If Trump is the hero we all believe he is, it's a U.S. Treasury note. It's a dollar backed by the goodwill and faith of the American people outside of the Federal Reserve System. So
right.
I think let's hope. I mean, that's all there is left. There's nothing left but hope for us.
But getting back to the messiness, as Kevin described this, this whole rollout, we saw what happened with Bondi, Pam Bondi.
What was that?
To me, her days are numbered.
100%.
Her days are numbered.
Over her skis, out of her league.
Unless this, and again, I don't know if it was exactly supposed to be this messy there, KDJ, but I feel like Trump's looking at her going, "You're making me look bad now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's where we have a problem because he's trying to enjoy the wins. He said, "Why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about this?"
He was not happy with that.
Yeah, he was not happy. Unless that's part of the game, I don't know. I'm just saying. But this is not going away anytime soon. I think her days are numbered. I think Bongino is probably the one that's most intriguing to me because listening to him for the last few years on his podcast. And how,
without a doubt,
I feel like he's the one who's going to be the most conflicted in terms of, can I do this job, knowing now what I know and having to continue trying to cover up and not chase the bad guys because we're going to use the bad guys. I don't know. I don't know if he can do it. I don't know if it's in him to compromise that way.
I got to be honest with you. I don't know. But right, KDJ, he made so much of his career was about uncovering these dark secrets of of the intel world, of intelligentsia and corporate henchmen. I mean, this is the way it works in corporate America. If somebody could do something that can derail your $1 billion business, well, not that a case of lead poisoning won't fix. Shut people up, stop a path. I mean, KDJ, if you want to chime in on it, I think we're it is just now left for waiting.
Yeah, and this is nothing new. Remember, J. Edgar Hoover kept control of the FBI. He wasn't even setting things up that we know of. He could have been, but he'd go up to say, Senator Kennedy, congratulations on your win to the White House. We found these you got these photographs of you with this woman who's not your wife. If we can get them, that means your enemies can get them. I'm just here to say, be careful. Right. And what he was saying is, you will not replace me because I've got something on you. And he did that to tons and tons of people. Now, whether J. Edgar Hoover set those rendezvous up or not, I don't know. It wouldn't put it past him. But I think now here's another wacky one. Is it possible that this whole sleeping with teenage girls things was sort of an initiation? Like, you want into the big league club, you want into Bohemian Grove, we got to have something on you. Remember in House of Cards where Kevin Spacey says to the reporter, well, I'm going to need something for insurance, a photograph. And she shows her boobs, and he goes, no, something you would never want your dad to see. I had to have something on. And I'm not positive that, and I'm not saying that that's the deal, but I'm not saying that it's not the deal. I'm not saying it's not the deal. I think when you've got these groups of people, these elite pedophiles, I don't even like to use those two words together. You got to keep them in line. And I think right now, if all the truth came out at once, it might be too much for the nation and or the world to handle. And it might make a lot of people angry, and it might make people angry at Israel.
It might. But you know what? There's too many players, right? I guess there would be too many players to expose at one time.
Yep.
I would imagine we don't even want to call it Israel, right? I think we'd want to call it just the West. You know what I mean? Like all the Western nations that are part of the IMF, whatever. I just think we want to call it the West. They'll just pin one nation. This is every nation involved here. I think that that obfuscates the nature of this thing, and I do think this is essentially, keep guys in line to make sure that the agenda goes through, whatever that may be. And I think KDG said it best. I'm not saying that honeypots were deliberately done by people like Alan Dulles and his brother and the entire intelligence agency from the 50s and 60s on. We're not saying it wasn't. We're not saying it wasn't.
Remember
it certainly is a good way to get someone to do what you want.
The CIA used to employ hookers to bring Johns in, give them Molly.
They do it right now.
It's not my grandfather's CIA. In his day, you'd get laid before he'd put me full of drugs. You don't get that now.
Hey, now I have one more theory I'm going to throw at you.
All right.
And this has to do with the 1 minute, missing video clip, right? They're trying to say, well, this is standard with this. They've been doing it for years. That's the way it works. How about, okay, maybe they knew about this. Maybe they knew, hey, this minute is always going to be missing. That's going to be our opportunity. Who's to say that when they chose to remove Epstein or replace Epstein or just remove him, we don't know. Huh? I don't know. Maybe he's alive. I don't know. You hear people that it's not enough time to kill him, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the person that they found there was already dead. It takes less than a minute to drag somebody across there, drop him in, walk the other guy out. Boom.
I'll tell you, some of the conspiracy sites have him as alive, well, and ready to blow whistles on everybody, and that's part of the game. But, the truth is, none of us know. We're never going to really know until we know, if we know.
Right.
And the speculation is somewhat fun, but I got to, I don't know, man. It's like we're kind of, it's just such a bad war of optics at this point.
It really is just, like Kevin said, just messy. And especially to complain, well, there's no client list. You know what? There's no food list either, but I'll make one before I go shopping. I got a bunch of people I want to invite to a party, but there's no party list. Well, guess what? You can create one. You've got the files. Just go, oh, you know what? This is
How about the chain of custody?
That's one there.
Somewhere can we at least see the chain of custody? Who's the last person to have the list? It's
right.
just,
even if
everything's gone.
I think people get caught up in the word list because we saw the flight logs. That was basically a list. So, when it comes to that, there's no list. But there's a group of names. So just put them in a list form, and that's your list. Duh.
I said on the radio today? I said, if I order a pizza, if I procure a pizza, I'm pretty sure I know who's eating it. She knows.
Good point.
Funny.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We come back, more Slick Rick Sports. We got some other news to cover on a Wednesday night. Stay there.
Model at the end of the show outfit and not just his shoes.
Ooh, there you go.
Well, guess what? The pants are all the same. It's the same look.
All right there, Mr. Tubin.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not. No tube steaks here.
Chat live in the chat.
B. Carter, what's going on? 100%. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a lot of there's so much going on here. There's just so many moving parts. There's been so much BS.
So much going on.
We've lived under the realm of this Operation Mockingbird, where the ultimate goal of Operation Mockingbird was to make sure nobody ever knows anything that is remotely close to the truth. And when we're all completely confused, the mission has been complete. Well, congratulations, CIA, Operation Mockingbird. You are fantastic. Your program doesn't exist except for now it's splintered into 13 different factions, and no one really knows the names of them. Good for you.
Well, congratulations, Drag Blacker, on the YouTube. He breaks the seal. We got the first super chat tonight.
Really?
$5. Let release the hounds now. Let them
Get a
going.
slice now. We get one slice of pizza.
That's right. One slice. Well, that's pushing it, Paul. Damon is spending his anniversary at Woody's, having the Gnome Special. Going, what even is that? To what you are doing on the show. He might be about right. I think his wife isn't going to go to Woody's. She's high end. She's going somewhere nice. I know.
Some place where he'll carry the tray.
You rang.
Boy, this chair is such a weird angle where my knee is buried in.
Well, you're sitting in Delgado's chair. What do you expect?
Then drop it down a little bit.
No, it's not that. It's she had me move over to the side.
Oh.
Closer to you. And then my knee is getting banged. I got this weird. I got to move this over. So I keep looking at that, but it's not it.
Put on a suit, says KDJ. Read your article.
Black. Appreciate it.
Casey58 is in the chat. Nancy Burns.
Happy 28th birthday, Drag Blacker. You look terrific.
Barry G. Kevin is a freaking genius, and I 100% agree with him. See, Barry? Barry G. Race over to the Rumble
Sean Stanton in the YouTube chat. Jeffrey is in Cancun mixing antifreeze into cheap wine. I like that one.
That's funny.
That is a good one right there.
That's good.
That's it. What is it?
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, and 103.9 on your radio, linewsradio.com on your computer. Jethro TXK in the Rumble rant sent us a $5 Rumble rant. POTUS 4547, he's talking about Trump, has all the information. This is the theory he's going with. Has all the information he needs to get things done in the future.
I hope so. Your lips to God's ears.
Yeah, you know what? I hope so too, but part of me thinks I don't know if he would, because it's such disgusting stuff.
It's gross. It's just so
you're not
gross.
sure. It's like
the most unspeakable, disgusting crime in the world. I mean, it's just horrifying. You know, the thing about, we should drop this subject and probably move on, but to me,
we
the
got to do
fact
sports.
that, you know, Trump completely disassociated himself with him, as you know, for a long time, and to be, if he was involved, there's no way it wouldn't have been out by now.
Oh, right.
Sure. You know, so, like, I'm not even remotely worried about that. But from the war of optics, lefties are salivating over this. You know?
Yes, exactly. But, you know, we all
matter
know
till the midterms.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let's do some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. You can go to mypillow.com, use our code LFS6B at checkout. Save yourself a lot of money on some great stuff for yourself and the family. You get the big, huge towels that I love from my shower. Grab those there as well. Grab some pillows and grab some sports with Slick Rick. Slick, what do you got?
No, President Trump ain't letting old Slick off the hook on California. Trump admin sues California for allowing trans athletes in girls' sports. Catherine Hamilton, big news today from Breitbart. President Donald Trump's Department of Justice on Wednesday sued California after the Department of Education found the state had discriminated against women by allowing transgender identifying males in girls' sports and spaces, which is also very important. The DOJ's Civil Rights Division alleged in its complaint that the California Department of Education and the California Interscholastic Federation violated Title IX by forcing female high school athletes to be displaced from podiums, denied awards, and miss out on critical visibility for scholarships and recognition. Title IX prohibits discrimination based on sex in education programs and activities receiving federal funding. This discrimination is not only illegal and unfair, but also demeaning, signaling to girls that their opportunities and achievements are secondary to accommodating boys. I like that. that. The complaint states it erodes the integrity of girls' sports, diminishes their competitive experience, and undermines the very purpose of Title IX to provide equal access to educational benefits, including interscholastic athletes. Basically, the common sense law. The complaint asks the U.S. District Court Central District of California to make the state compensate female athletes who have been denied equal athletic opportunities, including correcting past athletics records, follow Title IX as it was intended as a condition of receiving federal funding, and submit regular compliance reports for the next 5 years. The DOJ noted in a press release that California's compliance with Title IX is imperative as the state has received $44.3 billion in federal funding this fiscal year alone. So, all that money may be going south, and I can tell you, old Slick ain't gonna get reelected if they pull all that money out of schools. Because one thing parents hate is that they can't go and live vicariously through their kids watching sports games and what have you, and that'll be massive if that does happen. So, I tell you, I don't know if you're watching this very sad story that's unraveling with a former Olympic great gold medalist Mary Lou Retton. She's in denial after failing field sobriety tests in a DUI arrest. There's a video out there, some body cam footage. I don't have it, but I will give you the story. This is out of Fox News. Retton gasped in disbelief when officers told her she failed all sobriety tests. This is Jackson Thompson of Fox News. U.S. Olympic gold medalist Mary Lou Retton was seemingly in disbelief after police determined she failed a series of field sobriety tests during a DUI stop, as seen in newly released body camera footage of her May 17th arrest in West Virginia, obtained by Fox News Digital. The footage showed a Fairmont County police officer running the women's gymnastics legend through a series of sobriety tests for more than 7 minutes. Officers then asked if she had a valid driver's license on her, to which she replied, "It's in Texas." Okay. After nearly 10 minutes of taking tests, one officer told another officer she failed all of it. Retton gasped in disbelief. "I what?" she asked. "You failed all your field sobriety, ma'am," the first officer said. "No, I didn't," she retorted. "Yes, you did," he insisted. The former gymnast was then seen declining to take a breathalyzer test as police officers informed her she would be arrested on suspicion of DUI. As the officers put her in handcuffs, she yelled to a nearby acquaintance, "They think I'm drunk." Obviously. Footage later showed Retton being escorted to the police station. Upon her arrival there, she was seen telling an officer, "I mean, really, I know you know who I am." There, played that card, right? There, Retton was seen agreeing to have her blood alcohol. We know how that card goes. You never play that one. Yep. But just really a sad unraveling of this young lady. I know she had that unusual pneumonia. She was sick, and, we felt bad for her. And didn't her daughter put like a huge GoFundMe and a lot of money? She hadn't had health insurance right?
because of the divorce and things like that. She had some bad luck, as they say.
Well, she's had some real bad luck, so I really hope she finds the better of life, because she earned 5 medals and 1 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze. So she's quite the decorated legend, no question. And obviously the pictures of her. I mean, granted, she's aged like we all have, but she really does not look well. Separate on the side, it's not the cute little Mary Lou Retton I remember on the Wheaties box back in 1984, some 40 years ago.
You know who I am. I did flips 40 years ago. Let me go.
And that's a wrap in sports, Rick.
All right, there, Slick. Thank you very much. And again, Slick Rick Sports.
With that balance, if she can't pass a field sobriety test, it's probably not a good look.
I watched a little bit of it. I thought she did okay on the straight line test.
Oh, I don't watch any of it.
I think she was using an old balance beam magic, right? Yeah. But then she ended up on the uneven bars, and it all came tumbling
down. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Let's wrap up the Epstein stuff so Aaron doesn't lose her S tonight. Here is CNN's Jake Tapper talking about the case again. Again, people are... I think people or the Trump administration or President Trump doesn't understand. This is not going away as easy as he would probably like it to be, according to what his statement was.
Are you guys still talking about this?
Yeah, exactly. Here's cut number 3. Check this out.
So what's really going on here? I mean, what's really going on? Well, experts, such as our friend Julie Brown from the Miami Herald, who's been covering Epstein for years, say that the notion of Epstein having an easy-to-access client list is likely a red herring. And that's what the Trump administration is relying on, that there likely isn't a list per se. But they are also now relying on the fact that because it's MAGA influencers who often put forward so many falsehoods, legacy news media won't push the point, that there might not be a list. There are certainly files that can be released. There's a trove of information that the Trump administration is right now refusing to share. information that could well point to the powerful folks who availed themselves of the sex trafficking victims of Jeffrey Epstein. If you go, for example, to the FBI vault online, you can see that there are 22 files containing thousands of pages. Most of them are heavily redacted. Now, sure, of course, redact the names and identifying characteristics of the victims. But why not make the victim and witness testimonies public? As Julie Brown points out, there's still so much we don't know from the investigations by U.S. attorneys in Miami and in New York, witness interviews in the U.S. Virgin Islands and New Mexico. Brown writes that there's still more evidence that hasn't been published, including, quote, Epstein kept video cameras in most of his residences, and Epstein's autopsy, nor the report of the investigation into his death, has ever been made public. So while there may not be an official client list to be released, as the administration is now saying, there's a lot of extra information that is not being made public, despite Trump's Justice Department basically now saying case closed. This isn't going to go away. The public, you're being played for fools here.
Yeah.
And buy my book. Please.
He's not wrong. This is not going away.
Nope.
And the fact that again they're doing a lot of work on this kind of points you to this story over and over, and the messiness. And again, Kevin, that was the greatest adjective to use. That this is just messy. Yeah. This is one of those unintended fumbles, right?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Let's just say Jake Tapper picking on MAGA influencers. It's kind of like Charlie Manson telling someone with OCD that they're crazy. All right? He doesn't really get to do that. Yeah. We're being played. Shut up, Jake.
That's exactly.
All right, we'll put a wrap on the first hour. We got hour number 2 coming up on a Wednesday night. We've got some other great stuff. We got those questions with Peter Doocy and President Trump. Stacey Abrams makes an appearance, and also Steve Bannon on the meme case. Remember the meme case?
And
that guy is
the president of Iran.
Yeah, we'll do that all coming back live from Studio 6B. Stay there.
Did you see Fran's blood?
What happened?
A snot bubble almost came out of my nose. I have a little bit of a... Dude, what the hell's wrong with you?
That's what you get for looking at your phone mid-segment.
He calls him as you know what it is? He calls him as he doesn't see him.
Dude, that is funny. So we're not going to be at the warehouse? Oh.
There was a rumor.
What happened?
We got trumped by a car
There was
show.
a speed bump due to scheduling, but we fixed it.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for nothing.
It was a logistical nightmare.
Let's just do a rerun.
Isn't that what we do every night?
Just put cardboard.
Any more Epstein news?
I know. Believe me. I
kill it.
I got it.
About what?
No, that was me.
About what?
I got to be honest with you. I think we belabored the daylights out of it.
I didn't say. I never said the word shit. You did. I said S.
I don't know if you guys. I really want to show you this clip. I'll do the story when it's my turn. But I just
about what? What clip?
About Tucker having the president of Iran on.
We'll do that coming up.
That sounds good.
I don't think Aaron will lose her S over that clip. So.
I love it.
Rick,
bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop, bro. You guys see the video of the former NHL enforcer beating the daylights out of a drunk guy on the golf course?
No, I didn't see it. Who was it?
I forgot his name. It was like
Terry O'Reilly? No,
it was like a low-level enforcer, but
it's amazing.
This drunk buffoon.
Is it Ty Domi? No.
You're not going to listen.
I'm listening. I was wondering who it is.
I'm not telling you now. It's...
Man, oh man.
He's trying to tell you the story.
I'm trying to guess who it is. I'm trying to help him out with the story. I'm trying to give him the guy.
It's a trophy fish, so yeah, it's big. What's with this guy? You don't remember the scene from Step Brothers? Probably the most important film ever.
No.
No, I don't remember that
film.
scene.
Where they're at the thing.
I was playing trivia the other night, and a Step Brothers movie line came up, and I got it.
Nice. It's right before they showed boats and hose. Holy cow, man. I can't do demo. I am too old to do demo. I need a nap.
The best part about that fight, Paul, is when the guy punched him.
These guys from Live from Studio 6B, they're pretty hysterical. Have you seen this Slick Rick guy?
Everybody's seen Slick Rick.
Hey,
guy.
Joe.
Live from Studio 6B. Welcome to the program. Hour number 2, Real America's Voice. Dish Network Channel 219, Pluto TV 240, 1175 on Samsung TV Plus. Also the Roku channel, Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Select TV 106. Follow us on all the socials, including the Rumblers in the Rumble Chat, YouTubers, the Facebookers, the Twixers over on Twitter X. You can also follow Kick, Getter, the Getter Chat people, the Chatterbaters, and LFS6B Show on Instagram. And don't forget, you're listening on 103.9 LINewsRadio.com. Thank you for joining us on a Wednesday night. Like I said, hour number 2. Damon is off tonight. He'll be back tomorrow, rested and ready to go as we power our way into the weekend. We've got the Friday night show, the live version of Live from Studio 6B over at the America First Warehouse. Put up the thing. There it is.
You got to come down. You have to come down.
You have to come down and experience, especially if you're in the area. Even if you're not in the area, if you're going to be passing through the area, try to set up your schedule and cruise by. The warehouse itself is enough for the trip. But then you get us as well. From 8 to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
You're making a hard, you're on 95. Just make a hard right and head east. Come see us.
Head east. pretend you were invited out to a place in the Hamptons and stop over.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
We're just like the Hamptons too.
Right.
Yeah.
So make sure you join us this Friday night. Live show. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. at the America First Warehouse. You can go online and check that out, or you can just scan that thing right to your phone on the TV screen and take care of it from there. The America First Warehouse. The show, of course, 8 to 10 p.m. Live, really live, in front of a live studio audience. You can join us. You can be there, so it'll be fun. And we'll have everybody there. It'll be a good time. Again, it is a Wednesday night. Kevin Downey Jr. is here. We'll get to him in just a little bit, but I know Paul's got some stuff that he wants to get to, including some very important stuff with Tucker. Tucker's been doing some really great stuff lately.
Without a doubt. I think if you're one of those people out there who said, oh, you shouldn't give the Iranian president a platform, do not let him speak, then you are part of the problem. You would be the equivalent of the righty version of the left. There is no such thing as hate speech. Speech is just speech. People hate. If you think you are the arbiter of what free speech is or isn't, that means you are not for free speech. Free speech has one antidote, and that's more speech. So when people speak, we know exactly who they are, and no one has to worry about what's politically correct, what isn't. These people will tell us who they are. So instead of me really setting up the story, Tucker brought on the president of Iran. You pronounce his name for Pezeshkian. And I got to be honest with you. This is why if people from the left was screaming and the pro-Israel right was screaming, don't let this guy have a platform.
Let me ask you a question. So this is a recent interview.
This was from 3 days ago.
3 days ago. Wow. Okay. So this is very recent.
He was told he had 30 minutes, for 7 questions, and he wasn't really allowed to push back. So he got what he could. And this is why I believe that anybody who thinks that they shouldn't have this discussion is a fool. I think we should roll the clip, and I want your guys' reaction.
Many Americans are afraid of Iran. You say you're not afraid, but Americans are afraid of Iran. And they believe that Iran would like to strike the United States with a nuclear weapon. They see video of Iranians saying death to America, describing our country as the great Satan. What is your opinion of that? Should we be afraid of Iran?
I believe that this is a very wrong impression that anybody might have of Iran or the Iranians. I would like to remind you that Iran has never invaded another country in the last 200 years. When they say death to the United States, it doesn't mean death to, they don't mean death to the people of the United States or even to the officials of the United States. They mean death to crimes, death to killing and carnage, death to supporting killing others, death to insecurity and instability. This is. Have you ever heard that an Iranian killing an American? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Hundreds.
Are you kidding me? So that's why.
And that's just question one.
That was question one?
Have you ever, I mean, that might as well have been The View with such BS.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, please. I mean.
What's funny is we've seen clips like that from the media in the last couple of weeks. The old, just because they chant death to America, they really don't mean it.
Yeah.
What?
Death to America is what they say when they're playing bingo.
Right.
What are you kidding me? I just think there's a perfect example of let's talk to people. Let's hear what they have to say, because that's what death to America means. I mean,
death to everything America stands for.
I mean,
but not death to America.
Maybe the interpreter was off a little. He could have been off a little. He's off now.
That is eye-opening.
Right. It was only 30 minutes. I think everyone should watch it. The concern for me is this, is that lefties believed every word he said. And I do find it concerning because, look, I am, I'm not as Israel first as you guys. I'm more America first.
Well,
I meant the audience. There is a lot of Israel first in our audience, and I don't agree with it's America first, is my opinion. But these Muslim states is last. Like what they've done in Europe, it's last. It's dead last. So. I just think it's a good example of why we want to hear as much speech. No such thing as, no one is the arbiter of who can speak and say what.
Well, actually, the mullahs in Iran are the arbiters of who can speak. They gave him 30 minutes and only 7 questions.
100%.
They're very much in charge of in terms of who can speak and what they can say.
And we're watching the destruction of free speech in Europe. We're seeing, in Britain, people going to jail for Facebook posts.
Right.
So.
Well, that's a perfect lead into this next story here. Daily Caller, court throws out conviction of right-wing meme maker targeted by the Biden administration. You know him as Ricky Vaughn, but also his real name, Douglas Mackey. He was convicted in 2023 for election interference over images he posted of the 2016 election. Announced Wednesday, his conviction was unanimously overturned by the United States Second Circuit Court of Appeals in New York City. He announced it on his Twitter X himself. And this is a huge victory. When you talk about free speech, Paul, and Kevin too, because you're in the space with PJ Media. You're talking about let's go to Kevin first, because let's face it, this guy memes are meant for fun. Mm-hmm. They're meant for joking. They're meant for irony. Kind of spitting in the face of the big man, saying, pointing out the two positions here, right? The ironic part of what they're up to, and just having some fun with it. And you do that, as part of your profession.
Yep.
What did you think when you first saw this guy was getting arrested for it and then sentenced for it?
I was infuriated. What he did was he made a fake meme and said, "Hey, if you're a liberal, text your vote here." And someone on the left did the same thing. Hey, if you're a Republican, you can text your vote here. They can't prove that anyone fell for the stupid joke. They can't prove one person did it. But this was not about anything other than crushing the right. Crushing the right, making us afraid. Oh, look, he got 7 months. He never did the time because the appeal court said you don't have to go until we appeal this. But imagine a joke meme sending you away. Right now, I can go here on Twitter and I can find... hashtag I hate white people. That's fine. I can find threats against people. There were animals threatening to rape my fiance when I had a little J6 dust up, and that was fun. But that guy, he gets 7 months. That's insane. That was what you see going on in England is what's going to happen here. And Iran can say, we don't mean death to America. You're invading America. Islam is part of the New World Order, all right? That's why they're raping their way across Western Europe. That's why they're slaughtering Christians throughout Africa. So I don't want to, conflate the two, but it's a meme. It's a meme. And I'll tell you right now, I've been doing comedy for 36 years, and I just picked up a gig in Saratoga Springs while we're on air. I'll be there this weekend.
Nice.
Now, if we can't make jokes, it's over.
Right.
That's a huge part of free speech. Yeah. It's a joke, you idiots.
And it's part, and again, it's part of what everybody does. And the left really hates this because the left can't meme. That's their big issue. They have a lot of problems with the art of memeing. It seems to be
they are a living, breathing meme.
Right. Because
exactly.
They truly,
AOC is the poster child.
Yeah, they truly stink out loud. According to this, President Trump's campaign posted a video on X in 2023 and contended that the Biden DOJ violated Mackey's First Amendment rights, which they did. Mackey maintained he did not want a pardon from the former president once he got voted back in. Instead, he wanted to go through and get total vindication, which congratulations to him for doing just that through the dismissal and the reversal of the charges. He was first arrested, like I mentioned, in January of 2021. And following the appeals decision, Mackey then posted just 3 words. After he posted "God is good," he posted "Now we sue."
Nice. Good for him.
Which is
good story.
Which is the perfect chapter 2 of this story.
Yeah. I don't think people realize just how close to tyranny we came. I mean, tyranny was here. It was here. They're trying to lock Trump up. They tried to lock this guy up. They tried to lock someone else up, and, allegedly. But it was here. It was just here, and it's not gone forever, folks. Keep your foot on the gas. We're not out of this yet.
Yeah, exactly. As a matter of fact, when the story broke, here's Steve Bannon, what he had to say about it. Cut 13. Check this out.
We should charge the prosecutors today. They should be charged with federal frickin' crimes. They should, and we ought to get to the judge and roll him in for an impeachment starting on Monday. You're going to take action against Pharaoh's army, and let's take action. They took an innocent man from one meme.
Yeah.
Pharaoh's army. By the way, I love Steve Bannon. I absolutely love him. But I think we should call him Steve Bunyan until he gets the name of our show right.
But yeah, there he is from earlier today, and he's got a great point. And the fact that Mackey is saying the same thing, he's going to sue. Let's see where this goes, because you think about it, the DOJ was way out of line.
We got to stay on top of this case.
Right.
I hope this guy fries these people.
So hopefully, hopefully he gets what he deserves and really gets, takes a few scalps with him along the way. Because
I hope so. Get a pound of flesh, buddy.
Because as Bannon put it, you got to go after these people because they're the problem, right? And they're embedded.
They're activists. It's all those liberal money wackos just loving their communism.
Yeah. And trying to control your speech, because if they control your speech, they can control everything. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some more sports. We'll do some more news with Kevin and Paul. And more with you guys in the chats. Talk about Max Fat. We'll be back. Stay there. Chat live in the chat. Let's see what we got going on. Kevin, are you still eating that crap, dude?
I love it.
You're going to be crapping like shoes later.
Go for
that's one pair of shoes you're not going to want to see at the end of the show. It's not all it's cracked up to be, believe me. But yeah.
Let's see. Broke Spoke. Robbo Moon Pie. Talking about the YouTube chat.
Oh, Moon Pie. I love the Moon Pie.
Well, we can do 2 here and 1 next break. Did you get the Drag Blacker super chat there, Slick?
I got that earlier.
The $5 one?
The $5 one, yes.
Just making sure.
Unless he did another one, but I got there was a $5 Drag Blacker. Actually, it was the only super chat we've received so far this evening. But it's hour 2. Come on. Damon's got pizza to buy on Friday. Extra pineapple.
Pineapple? College grad failures in the chat. And Miller Kit Kat, Pitchfork 22. Tumbleweed Farmer.
Sicilian Missy has a nice quote in the chat. Rick, you might be interested in that in the YouTube chat. She says, Damon is an arrogant bully.
Don't pick on Damon. He's not here.
Come on.
He's not here to get...
Yeah, Damon is an arrogant bully.
It's hilarious.
Come on. He's having his porterhouse right now. He had a 48-ounce porterhouse for an appetizer, I saw.
Really?
Yeah. He's just getting
For an appetizer?
He's having the old 96er. He gets free hats and T-shirts.
Yeah,
He eats the
remember
whole
that?
thing, including
Oh,
the grizzle.
my God.
Tree Finder, Susan Boat.
Oh, boy.
Commander Mike.
It's a tough
Jacqueline
day, boy.
Marshall. Farmer Brooks like, let's dig Damon. Come on, Rick.
That was funny.
Too funny. What do we got? 30 seconds, and we're back.
Let me get to the chat. Do you have any clips about ChatGPT going wacko?
No.
Chris Allen. Slick, there has been more than one super chat tonight. Oh, Chris Allen. I didn't see that one. It's hard to catch.
I love
listen,
Chris Allen.
I got other chats. I got to stop in and see my friends in Gedda. You know,
Oh, you know what that means.
Jeez, we're paying Rav's bills.
Since Donald Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace, and it's not stopping. But don't forget, while they're moving mountains for the good of the nation, they can't also take your personal savings into account. You've got to do that for yourself. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through diversification, particularly with gold from our trusted friends at Birch Gold Group. Make sure you check in with them. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has increased by 40%. Central banks continue to bolster the demand for gold by buying more gold in record quantities. Global instability and tension, of course, we've seen it. It's getting pretty high, highest it's been in decades. Birch Gold makes owning physical gold extremely easy, and you can do it too. Easily convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or buy some and store it in your own home safe. Just text my name, America, to the number. I don't know if that makes sense. America to the number 989898, and Birch Gold is going to send you a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. That's America to 989898 with an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers. You can take control of your savings today by texting the word America to 989898. That is for Birch Gold. Get their free kit, and you could be on your way to protecting you and your family savings from uncertainty with Birch Gold Group. Hey, you've seen this as well. We just passed April. You know what happens in April. The taxes are due. If you're still stressed about back taxes because maybe you missed that deadline or your books are a mess, don't wait, because the IRS is coming down. They're cracking down. Penalties add up fast, 5% per month, up to 25% for just not filing. But don't worry, there's help. It's called Tax Network. USA. You can take the burden off your shoulders, give it to them, put it on their shoulders. Stop the spiral before it gets worse. They'll be the ones to help you out. Tax Network USA. They've helped thousands of Americans, whether you're an employee, small business owner, or haven't filed in years. Talk about messy books, haven't filed in years. Talking about messy. Are we talking about what happened in the White House the other day? No, of course not. We're talking about Tax Network USA. No problem. They've seen it all, and they can help you. They know exactly how to clean those messes up. With direct access to the powerful IRS programs and expert negotiators on your side, Tax Network USA knows how to win. They'll get you a free consultation, and if you qualify, they may even be able to reduce your taxes or eliminate what you owe altogether. More importantly, they'll help protect you from the wage garnishment or bank levy. So don't wait for the next IRS letter. Make sure you reach out to them today. Take the pressure off. Let Tax Network USA handle your tax issues by calling 800-905-8000. That's 800-905-8000, or visit tnusa.com/RAV to talk to a real expert at Tax Networks USA. Give them a call today. And there you have it. Getting your stuff in order. Get your house in order. Speaking of houses in order, we got Slick Rick with sports. His house is always in order, as you can tell. Slick Rick, brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Use our code at checkout, LFS6B, and save yourself big money that, of course, you can help pay off your tax stuff or whatever else, whatever other problems you got.
That's right.
Slick, what do you got for us?
Well, I want to give a shout out. I met a lady named Pat today. Loves the show. I happened to be at a ribbon cutting on Long Island, and her and her husband, Carrie, they watch the show every night. Loved the show, and she knew who we were, knew Paul, knew all the guys. So really nice, and I always want to give them a shout out from Long Island. I told her, come on down to the warehouse. We got a big show Friday night, so maybe we'll see Pat down there. But always great to see fans, on the road when you don't expect it.
Yes, howdy, Pat.
Howdy, Pat. The Calgary Stampede, we're following that closely, and now we're in Pool B, round 3. Here we go. Bareback riding. We'll kick off with that. And third round is Jacob Lee's 88 points on Calgary Stampede's winning rose. Picked up $7,000. Steer wrestling. Will Loomis, 3.6 seconds, checking in with a good time there. Saddle Bronc. Here we go. Brody Wells, 88 points on Calgary Stampede's Painted Heart. I actually caught the rodeo the other night. I was watching the Calgary Stampede. Yeah, they're televising it. Tie Down Roping. We got Ty Harris, 7.2 seconds. What a great name, right? Tie Down Roping coming in at 7.2 seconds. Good old Ty Harris. And barrel racing. I love the barrel racing. The girls are always incredible the way they do that. Third round, Carly Otero, 16.88 tenths. Good time right there. And bull riding, the granddaddy of them all. Going to the third round, Clayton Sillers, 88.5 points on Wayne Vold Rodeo's Red Dust. $1.8 million jackpot there for, well, not jackpot, but payout for the rodeo, which is really just an incredibly large rodeo in my book. So good stuff there. And, well, this is a cute story. We're going to get cut 14 ready there, Aaron. Minor league pitcher called for balk after being startled by massive thunderclap during delivery. Despite the weather interference, the Norfolk Tides overcome early deficit to defeat Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Bubba Gum was a starting pitcher for them. 9-5. Ryan Morick of Fox News. Mother Nature made its presence known during a minor league baseball game on Tuesday. The Norfolk Tides were taking on the Jacksonville Jumbos. It's a AAA team of the Baltimore Orioles and Miami Marlins, respectively, on Tuesday in Northeast Florida when a thunderstorm rolled through the ballpark. We're going to show cut 14. Look what happens here.
A huge crash of lightning as Contreras kicked. And it's a balk.
Wow. That's crazy.
They're going to call that a balk, and everybody jumped.
Mother Nature gives Jacksonville a run. It's 2-1, and Norfolk is arguing the call, but I don't know how you can argue that. Unfortunately.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's good, Aaron. I mean, you talk about great balls of fire. Wow, man, that's unbelievable. I couldn't believe that. Yeah, so they... Thunderclap, just like that. I mean, that sounded like a shotgun went off there. I just thought that was absolutely incredible.
That's pretty insane.
That is pretty insane, but good stuff. So I'm going to leave it with that, and back to you, Rick.
All right. Well, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Remember to use our code LFS6B at checkout, and you'll save yourself some cash while helping out a great company as well and getting some phenomenal stuff that they make. So make sure you take advantage of it. MyPillow.com. Hey, I don't know if you guys had a chance to check this out. A couple different things were popping off in the news today. We'll get to the Trump stuff a little bit later with CNN and Peter Doocy as well. But I don't know if you saw Jasmine Crockett. She decided to poke her head out of the,
Come on, speak, baby, speak.
Yes, cut number 10. Here is Jasmine Crockett. If you haven't seen her in a bit, she reaches a new level of stupid when she decides to. Yeah, Paul, it's amazing.
How could she possibly?
And I don't know if it has anything to do with what she's wearing or if she's just as stupid on the regular. I'm not really sure. Here's cut number 10. Check this out. As she tries to equate the uptick in violence that we see against Trump and ICE to MAGA voters. Check this out.
The violence doesn't come from Democrats, just to be clear. I mean, obviously anyone can be a criminal, but it is MAGA. It's specifically MAGA faction. Like, I don't think traditional Republicans are getting engaged in all of this, but like, even when we look at, and they don't talk about the assassination attempts anymore that took place with Donald Trump, but these were Trump supporters, right? As well as this most recent situation, they tried to flip it and say, oh, the leftists are, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense, right? But it's only like MAGA that does this.
Somehow Big Bird removed the head and decided she was going to go do an interview or something. Just amazingly stupid take from an amazingly stupid representative who makes more than all of us.
That's unbelievable.
They believe that, though. I know a leftoid who said, you know, that Butler guy, that kid, he was a Republican, he was a Trumper. He got sick of him. They believe this.
They all believe it. It is a mental illness, right? I mean, when you think about it, the violence comes from MAGA, And meanwhile, what do we see? We see transmobobs killing people.
Yeah.
We see Antifa, trying to take out ICE guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Illegal immigrants setting fire to Jewish people.
Right. We see it across the board, and they'd all vote for people like Jasmine Crockett. Amazing. So, a new level of stupidity. But don't worry, she'll probably say something even stupider tomorrow. And if she does, we'll have it.
Oh, God.
Take a quick break. We come back. We'll jump on with Paul and KDJ and see what they got working on. Join us in the chats, please. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
I'm out.
Live in the chat.
If you haven't hit that let's like for spite. And Damon said, you got to keep this show moving without me here. See if you guys get the like button hit. Well, let's see what we got. And what do we have? Hold on, let's check it. YouTube is at 3 seconds. If I can go on Facebook, I'd like to go on Facebook again, but everything I write is marked harmful content.
Marty Kinn.
Starting with hello. Harmful content. Hello said hello.
Marty Kinn in the Rumble chat. TDS and JDA is a severe mental illness. You are so correct. These people have mental problems.
Her stupidity is fantastic.
It really is. Marty Kinn calls her Jasmine Cricket.
It's better than someone else wrote Jismin. 389. Look at that. We're going to crack 400 possibly.
Jethro TXK is looking for fellow chatters to go and hang out at the warehouse.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Oh, that could make 10.
Come on down.
Fran, 10 people.
That'll be a good time.
Fran's like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Alice says, my shirt looks awesome next to your jacket. You got to see the dance number we're going to do behind a paywall after the show.
Nice.
If we get enough super chats, we're going to show off our bye dance number we worked on.
Oh, you are?
She must be related to Hank Johnson. Well done, Kathy.
I got to look this up, Ratchet. You know what? That's interesting.
It could tip over. Is that on the Facebook chat?
What?
Nurse Ratchet?
No. Ratchet is on the Rumble chat.
Rumble, huh?
You can do Rumble. They won't ban you from there.
Yeah, I made the mistake when I did it. I used a weird name, and I don't remember the name or the password.
And then you got to make a new one.
Yeah, I tried that. It says you already have a...
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Just be nice in the chat and I won't kick you out.
All right. Not fun, though. Adele says, Paul, if we do not bless Israel, we as Americans will not be blessed, says God. I've watched a great many theologians discuss that subject. I'm not quite sure that's 100% accurate, but
Sound like the blues. And if you're not feeling well, that could be why you're here, and it could be the perfect reason for you to be listening right around now. As the new administration in D.C. has brought about a lot of positive changes when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. See how I tied that in? The reality is, however, there's only so much the government can do, and if you really want to make yourself healthy again and make America healthy again, it starts at home with each and every one of us. That's where the Wellness Company comes in. You see and hear from the Wellness Company doctors all the time on this network, and you know that their products are the gold standard for keeping you and your family safe and healthy. The Wellness Company gives you the opportunity to make sure you're prepared for whatever happens with a series of prescription medical kits that contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of these medications. All you got to do, of course, is reach out to the Wellness Group. The Wellness Company. Additionally, the Wellness Company offers a variety of products from parasite cleanses to methylene blue to weight loss and so much more that can help you stay healthy, live longer, and a more satisfying life. Make America healthy again and make yourself healthy again, and it starts at home. Do your part and protect the health of you and your family. Go to www.twc.health/voice today and order the kits that you need to keep yourself and your family safe. That's twc.health/voice using that promo code VOICE to save you 10%. That's twc.health/voice, promo code VOICE to save 10% on your next order with the Wellness Company. So do what you got to do to make sure you stay safe and well, and your family does as well with the Wellness Company. Guys, I don't know if you saw this. This is breaking news. Let me see if I could. I want to make sure I credit who gave me that information first. It was Ratchet on the Rumble chant about a story that just broke. Here it is, breaking news. 6 Secret Service agents suspended over their conduct during the attempted Trump assassination.
Ooh.
That's an interesting wrinkle.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Oh. After Jasmine Crockett, we just played 3 minutes ago, talked about, that all assassination stuff, those are MAGA people. No, they're not.
Well, she's on it, you know.
So according to this is ABC News, 6 agents were suspended by the U.S. Secret Service for failures connected to last year's attempted assassination of then presidential candidate Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. The personnel moves were confirmed 4 days shy of the anniversary. Man, I can't believe it's already been a year coming up of the shooting incident that left Trump's ear bloodied. Corey Comparator, you might remember, the firefighter attending the rally that day, died as a result of that attack. Counter snipers in Trump's Secret Service who were on site killed the shooter, identified by the FBI as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. In the aftermath of the shooting, an independent review by the Department of Homeland Security showed a series of law enforcement breakdowns had created an environment that left Trump vulnerable to the would-be assassin. And it just so happened, and I've seen people talk about this. I don't know if you guys have seen it, what your thoughts are on it. I can't recall who has made these, who had talked about this. It could have been Tucker, but it's people that you would know. Talked about how this was the first rally that CNN had covered, right? Of all his rallies up to that point in 2024, they were not covering anything, but they showed up for this one. That's a little conspiratorial, don't you think? They showed up with a slow motion camera. Yeah. Why would they do that? That's kind of odd. Just a lot of odd things happening that led up or included this assassination attempt. What are your thoughts on this, Kevin?
Well, I was wondering why we hadn't heard anything. Now we know why. They're not telling us what they're doing.
Right.
And I understand that they probably can't. This is further proof. Something's going to happen with the Epstein thing. I want to see what happens with this. This is huge. This is the only time the Secret Service brought a counter sniper team to any rally Trump or any other former president has had. They just happened to have one there that day.
Right.
So they could take that creepy, smelly incel Crooks from Butler, Thomas Crooks, I believe. So many things here that don't add up. And I'm right. Folks, we're going to see it all. We're going to see it all. We're going to see who is involved in these assassination attempts. We're going to see who is involved with Epstein. It's all going to come out. The Democratic Party is going to be crushed for decades, if not forever. Good, because they belong in the toilet anyway. They've been a horrible party starting since they owned the slaves.
Yeah.
I just can't wait. It's as we like to say, popcorn time.
You know what? And I'm not going to get conspiratorial here. Yes, I am. But when you look back on some of the things that we may have seen, and I'm saying we may have seen on social media about what to look out for, when things might start to happen, this is kind of starting to line up. Yeah. I don't know if you know what I'm kind of drifting towards. But things seem to be, they say August is going to be a hot month. They say it in more than one aspect, right, Paul?
Yeah. You know what? I just think that we have to just keep the faith here. I think that you guys brought some optimism today, which is great. It's just a let it wait and see kind of a thing at this point. And I think when we see news like this coming out, I just hope you guys are right about it. And I hope that I really hope that he's holding that leverage in that list and what he has to put these deep state jackasses in a full Nelson.
Yeah, you would hope. And then we go back to the Epstein thing. It's like, well, maybe, maybe that is the way they're operating. Keep everything close to the vest. We've known kind of that they really can't tell us a lot when they're investigating people. But it is kind of interesting that yesterday they announced that they're going after Comey and Brennan.
Yeah. It's like they throw us some red meat.
Right. They throw us the red meat, kind of keep us satisfied a little bit, be like, oh, maybe this will help deflect from the from the Epstein stuff. And then now they follow it up with something like this. And according to this, the discipline against the 6 agents was issued, and the agents were given the right to appeal. The suspensions range from 10 to 42 days, according to the official. The positions of those suspended range from supervisory level to line agent. A source familiar with the agency told ABC News just 9 weeks after the shooting in Butler, Trump had a second apparent assassination attempt while he was golfing at his course in West Palm Beach, Florida. Again, they caught that guy. They didn't end his life. And we found out that he had some interesting Travelocity miles built up going back and forth to like Ukraine.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
For some
that guy was as much of a Ukrainian CIA asset as there could be. He was a recruiter there. I mean, this guy, then they try to flip it that it was Iran trying to kill him. I mean, we know exactly what that was. That was a CIA move. They wanted Trump out. We all know that he is a kink in the gears of the big, giant corporate machine. So I'm not buying any of it.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. Breaking news. What do you got, Paul?
Don't forget, there's another kid from, I forget what town in Wisconsin, who murdered his mom and stepdad to get the money to go assassinate Trump. And they have text messages between him and someone in Ukraine with him saying, so how are you going to get me out of the U.S.? How long will I live in Ukraine? Where will I live?
Right.
So that's two would-be assassins with links to Ukraine.
And the other, how about in Arizona, the people all got sick. There was some kind of a gas leak there. That, people on the right side of the stage next to Trump were ill.
No, it wasn't a gas leak. They thought it was a
sarin.
No, they thought it was a direct energy kind of weapon that they kind of tested.
I knew it was something,
it was something weird like that. But jumping back to what you were just talking about, the Ukraine guy. Remember the Butler kid? He had several cell phones, had a bunch of accounts
7 cell
linked
phones
to overseas as well.
His entire house was scrubbed. Yeah. Not one piece of silverware, nothing refrigerated.
And the parents just happened to hire the biggest Democrat-connected attorney there, right, to help them out.
And keep in mind, Jill Biden was magically giving a little speech in Pittsburgh that day. So they took some of Trump's Secret Service staff and brought her over to watch. Make sure no one takes a shot at Dr. Jill.
And CNN, who never covers those rallies, had full coverage that day.
Yeah. Yep. Amazing stuff. Kevin Downey Jr., the host of the aforementioned Kevin Downey Jr. radio show that you can hear right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. What else you got for us, my friend?
Well, thank you for asking, Rick. Check this out, everyone. You know that horrible flood in Texas, and you know that people have been attacking Trump. Oh, it's his fault. Well, turns out the chief of the fire department in nearby Austin, they would cover this region. He was asked on, of July 2nd and July 3rd, 2 informal requests. Can we get some firefighters here? We know there's a storm coming. And he said no. And I said, wow, that's really interesting. I'm going to look into this guy. His name's Joel Baker. He's the first black fire chief of Austin. And I went and I dug this up. It says Fox 7 Austin from 2020. Says, I shall read in my broadcaster's voice. Says, Fox 7 Austin continues to honor Black History Month. We sat down with Fire Chief Joel Baker. That's Joel Baker with the Austin Fire Department. He's the city's first African-American fire chief. He says increasing more diversity within the department is on his list of things he'd like to accomplish. So I'm smelling diversity higher. I do a little more digging. What do you know? In his own words, oh, I'm so happy to be a firefighter or the fire chief. I was a horrible student from first grade to 12th grade. I barely got through high school. It took me 5 years to get a 2-year associate's degree.
Wow.
I am reading DEI all over this guy, folks.
Is that Jasmine Crockett's brother?
It is in Texas.
So the Austin Firefighters Association, that's their union, they said, you got to go. He says, I'm not stepping down. So they held a meeting. They said they're going to vote on a no confidence thing, which won't take him out of the office. But they voted unanimously, said, we need a no confidence vote on you. This guy exudes diversity. And finally, after the storm hits, keep in mind, the Austin Fire Department has what they call they have guys trained in swift water rescue. These floods are not new to them. He didn't send any of them out. After the flood, he sent 3 swimmers to go after, so far there's 119 dead and another 190 missing. So that's over 300 people. He sent 3 people to help. Now, I get it. There's one guy in Jersey, he saved, I think, 165. I get it. One man can save a lot. But they're going to find these other 190 missing, unless there's a miracle, folks. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get this guy booted. He refuses to go. But this is what happens with diversity, folks. This is what happens. I'm not saying a black man can't do the job that a white man can do or anyone else. What I'm saying is get the right guy. If he's black or white, it doesn't matter.
Right. As long as they're not stupid. I mean, life is tough enough. 100%. It's tougher if you're stupid. And that guy is obviously pretty damn stupid.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you guys heard about Sotomayor clown slapping Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
That's 2 justices within a month to tell her that. She said, no, you're not really talking about what we're talking about. You know?
Yeah.
It's like saying, man, I love this rigatoni. You go, well, we're actually eating rice.
Just amazing. Yeah, you're right. But again, those DEI hires, and it's where?
Austin.
In Austin, exactly. Austin is basically, California moved into the middle of Texas.
100%.
So
it couldn't be any bluer.
Yeah. Anyhow, wow, that was we're up to the last segment. Damn.
Yikes.
This second hour is flying. We'll go around the room one more quick time, see what everybody has to say. And, of course, we'll do some more sports with Slick Rick. Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Stay there.
No, I ran. I was running because I got this cold and loaded up on Sudafed. I can't believe I didn't get one last winter, and boom, my whole house got it. And I thought I cleared it, but
it's bad.
It didn't last long. It's only a couple of days. But honestly,
you get tested for COVID.
I had to be at the job at 7 a.m. this morning.
Frizz Wiz on the Rumble chat says, "Gotta fire Maureen Comey too from DOJ."
Oh, she's
Remember?
An animal.
I keep forgetting that she's the daughter of James Comey.
How she's in that spot?
How she's still there is amazing.
When you look at how many nepotistic connections there are throughout the entire deep state, it's just such a well-oiled, miserable machine.
Mm-hmm. Hey, here's some good news. DOJ lands legal victory as federal judge allows $800 million in grants to be brought back.
I don't know if you saw.
Good.
Trump said he's going to jack the tariffs on. What
was it Japan and Taiwan?
No, on Brazil for the Bolsonaro.
Oh, Brazil. That's right.
Because the way they're ridiculously witch hunting him now.
Yep.
I still think the ChatGPT thing was hysterical. The new version of Grok. Grok lost its mind, and it's funny, man. Some funny quotes there. There's another story here if we want to get to it in Epic Times, which I still think is that, and John Solomon is just the news. Japan is, China's doing a good job sidestepping the tariffs by pumping everything through Vietnam and then repackaging it.
Well, whichever one you want to hit, I'm going to go around the room. Around the room.
You can go. Take me last. I have stuff, but let everybody get their stuff in.
It's your turn.
No, it's fine. No, I went 3 times tonight. That's like a record on this show.
No, it's
I
not.
got 3 sports segments
Usually
tonight.
it's 4.
Well, lately. So that being said, and it's fine. We got great content, great stuff. Sports is secondary. Tertiary in most cases.
Tertiary. Nice
Tertiary.
Word.
Yeah, well, that's
spell it.
New toilet paper I have now. Tersh. T-E-R-T.
Tersh.
I-A-R-Y. Tertiary.
Texas trucker. In the Twitch chat says rigatoni and rice. Now we got rice-a-roni.
Rice-a-roni, the Costa Rican treat.
Elsie San Diego is in there.
Slow.
What?
So my fiance decided she wants new headshots for comedy.
Okay.
She says so she's calling around.
Live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. We'll be back tomorrow night. Damon will be back from his anniversary celebration with his special lady, and we'll be doing it again, and of course we'll be all doing it live on Friday night at the America First Warehouse. If you haven't been there to see a live show, get there this Friday, any Friday. Get there. It's a whole lot of fun. A lot of great Patriots showing up every single Friday.
Yes,
we have a great time. Joe DeBox is out of his mind.
Oh, yeah,
leads the Pledge of Allegiance before every show.
Every day's Flag Day.
Every day is Flag Day to Joe DeBox. Check out the show at the America First Warehouse, live from Studio 6B, the live version, in front of the live studio audience. You can scan that right now with your phone. Doors open at 7:30, and the show begins, of course, at 8. So hopefully we will see you there when you get a chance. In the meantime, it's the final segment, so we're going to go around the room. Let's kick it off with some sports with Slick Rick. Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com. Slick, give us your report, please.
Okay, Wimbledon. Let's go. Women's tennis. Here we go. Iga Swiatek, world number 8. One of the big ones. Well, she won today. She beat Samsonova 6-2, 7-5. She's moving on to the semis. And Mira Andreeva, world number 7, upset by Belinda Bencic, who's been playing fantastic. She won 7-6, 7-6, a squeaker there. But she's moving on as well, and they'll take on each other. That will be on Friday. And then we have the men's. Yannick Sinner, world number 1. Well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of elbow injury. Nope, nothing to be. He won 7-6, 6-4, 6-4, making easy work of Shelton pretty much after that first set. And, the old dog, number 6, Nikola Djokovic, he won. He actually lost the first set 6-7, came back to win 6-2, 7-5, 6'4". So he's back in there. Good to see. Djokovic.
Djokovic.
Yeah, Djokovic. Nikola Djokovic. So unbelievable. So he's moving on as well. That should be a good semi as well. So we'll keep an eye on all that. Baseball scores. Yankees 9-6 over the Mariners, top of the ninth. Yankees looking to close that out. They got to get back to their winning ways if they want to catch Toronto, who's also doing it with smoke and mirrors nowadays. Twins 4-2 over the Cubs, middle of the eighth. Bottom of the seventh, good one. Royals and Pirates tied at 3. Nationals 8-2 over the Cardinals, top of the eighth. Top 7, we have the Guardians blanking the Astros, 4-zip there. Angels trail the Rangers 1-0, middle of the first, just underway there. Bottom first, no score. Diamondbacks and Padres. And I gave you the scores earlier. Brewers down the Dodgers 3-2 in 10. And what do you know? Cincinnati, they won tonight. They beat the Marlins 7-2. Red Sox over the Rockies 10-2. And how about the Tigers lost tonight? Sorry, they're playing good ball, Kevin, but they lost to the Rays tonight 7-3. Cycling legend Greg LeMond, he got the Congressional Medal of Honor earlier today, Congressional Gold Medal. So that was great for him. He was a great Tour de France. And then last story I have tonight, golfers unable to get to Open Championship due to 30-year-old cocaine charge. They don't mess around. Harris English is vying for a Ryder Cup spot. Talk about a sand trap. Ryan Morick of Fox News. Harris English will be playing in next week's Open Championship at Royal Portrush, likely without his tournament sidekick. English's caddy, Eric Larson, is currently stuck in the United States after being unable to attain a new Electronic Travel Authority, ETA, visa for travel to the UK, a regulation that now applies to Americans. 30 years ago, Larson pleaded guilty to sending cocaine to friends in the Midwest. Well, 30 years ago, I mean, that was like a Christmas gift, right? No, I'm not condoning that. Though he wasn't a user or a big-time dealer, he spent 10 years and 3 months in prison. Wow. And he wasn't a big, he spent 10 years, that's a long time. Was released from halfway house in June of 2006. Larson said he didn't realize he needed the ETA visa until the U.S. Open, and when he filled out the form, he was denied. They said, "What's in your golf bag?" And anyway, that's a wrap in sports, Rick. Back to you. Sad story.
Well, again, Slick Rick Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell's MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Going around the room real quick. Paul, what do you have to finish?
I like what President Trump is now doing. He's using those tariffs like a machine gun. President Trump on Wednesday announced a 50% tariff on Brazilian imports, citing the legal cases against President Bolsonaro. Due in part, this is what he said, due in part to Brazil's insidious attacks on free elections and the fundamental free speech rights of Americans, we will charge Brazil a tariff of 50% on any and all Brazilian products sent to the United States. He wrote in this letter to President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. He said that the way Brazil has treated the former President Bolsonaro, a highly respected leader throughout the world during his term, including the way he handled his negotiations with the United States, is a international disgrace. The trial should not be taking place. So good for Trump standing up. Bolsonaro was, in my opinion, railroaded as well.
Yeah, completely. All right, Paul, thank you for that. Kevin Downey Jr., who you can also catch on 103.9 LI News Radio and linewsradio.com. What do you got for us, my friend?
Well, Jasmine's not going to like this, but I've been sort of keeping a track of lefty violence. It's getting worse. Check this out. A San Antonio candidate for the city council wants people to actually shoot ICE, and they've been. Who is this? This is Matthew Guana. I'm not sure how to say it. House Democrats told Axios that they're seeing a growing sense of anger amongst their base. Some of them are even calling for out-and-out violence. It's not even a secret anymore. 2 senators want to unmask ICE. Attacks against ICE are up almost 700%. You've heard about the ambush where the fireworks,
yep.
And then someone signaled that in the shootout, yeah, and then they perforated those hippies. Good. As I said, they burned a bunch of Jewish people. There's an illegal immigrant from Egypt. They shot 2 Jews in D.C. Oh, the Idaho firefighter, you know, that went away.
Yeah.
Once they found pictures of him with eyeliner and his love for My Little Pony. No MAGA hats found at any of these crime scenes. And the animal tried to shoot up a church in Wayne, Michigan. He had issues with the church and was talking to the priest a couple of months before he came to ventilate everybody. Comey, of course, with his 86-47. A house in Portland with Trump signs all over it just got shot up. And now, folks, I'm saying this, and I'm not being funny. You're next. They're coming for you. They shot up this house. It's going to be another church. It's going to be a Christian picnic. You got to be careful. I wouldn't say go get a gun, but you should. And yeah, they're getting bad.
Yes.
Don't trust Jasmine Crockett. They're animals. These lefties are animals, and you can't trust them. This is the last thrash of Marxism. They know they're going down, and they're not going down without a fight.
Right. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing to exercise one's Second Amendment rights.
Yeah, there you go.
So don't be shy. Just hey, people should be aware. Keep your head on a swivel, as they say. And just watch your surroundings, because sometimes these people are just so unhinged.
Yeah.
And it's those few lunatics on the left. And again, the Democrats just keep stoking that fire, because this is them. They're trapped in a corner. They know they're going down, and what are they doing? They're throwing everything against the wall to see what sticks.
Yep, fire
because
bombs.
This is it. This could be the last stand.
This is like their last stand of stupidity.
But I'm saying, don't lose faith in America.
Good.
If you ever decide you're going to lose faith in America, watch this and know and remember that this is the only place in the world you will see something like this. What am I talking about? I'm talking about cut number 9. Roll it.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Only in America. Oh, it's not done. Watch this.
Does he fall off?
What's it full in? Yeah. Former school bus.
Oh, they're like the Partridge Family. They used to have the school bus.
This guy's surfing off the back.
Oh, my God.
They're rocking down the road. Sure, there's a cop there.
He doesn't do anything about it.
He pulls him over.
Pulls him over.
We sound good at least? That was not on the bingo card list of the day.
Again, if you ever lose faith in this country, just remember that is the only place in the world you will see something like that. Wow. Man, oh man, you got to love it. And it's just the coolest thing. So, that was a fast show, everybody. We appreciate it. We appreciate you joining us, of course.
On the way out.
Paul Nolan, Kevin Downey Jr., of course, everybody. We thank you for watching. As always, we salute our military, active and retired, our first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, everybody serving on the front lines. God, please take care of our ICE agents and our Border Patrol. These guys it's fighting in some scary times. Everybody on the front lines, we appreciate what you do. Everybody on the show, KDJ, Slick Rick, Paul Nolan, Fran and Aaron in the booth. You guys at home, see you tomorrow in the chat, live from Studio 6B. Peace.